Welcome to 5 Minutes with Gray Hair Dave. He has gray hair, and he has a gray beard, and he also wears glasses, like the guy in the artwork. Oh, and the guy in the artwork is better looking. Now, tariff-free, here is Gray Hair Dave.
Well, what did you think of 11 Labs? That's the intro I use every week. It's create the voice, and everything else is created by 11 Labs. All I do is type in what I want to hear, and they come up with it. I just get to choose the voice. If you like it, go over to 11labs.io. That's ELEVEN labs.io. Check them out. If you use the link in the show notes and you sign up for it, I'll get an affiliate payout, which will be nice. It'll help offset the costs of running this show. Now let's get on with this show. Welcome again, Gray Hair Dave here, folks. If you're listening to this is episode 193 2.0. The reason I say that is I tried a little experiment yesterday. I took my laptop and my Samsung Q2U to my car to record because I wanted a different environment and I wanted to try something. And I kept getting me moving, all this noise with me moving the microphone around. And because it was handheld, I didn't put it on any kind of a stand. And that was my fault. And I couldn't get rid of it. It was great when I wasn't moving it around. But as soon as I moved it, you could hear things. And I didn't like it. And I worked at it in editing, and there's something about it that I couldn't get away from. I didn't like it. So here's my thought to you. Don't record in your car. If it's noisy in your house, tell them it's noisy and I need you to quiet down for a little bit. Or go to a different room farther away, or whatever you need to do. So, okay, we're going to change subjects now. Now, remember I was talking about Perplexity or Perplexity AI. They do a wonderful job, or it does a wonderful job at everything I asked it to do for the Gray Hair Dave project, which we're still in the designing mode, and maybe I'm over designing, and I'll talk about that another day. But I had mentioned last week that I went over to Claude AI and I asked them to give me a CRM. Now I put in a bunch of specifics about the Gray Hair Dave project, and then it came up with this beautiful CRM, exactly what I needed. It had the name of the business, it had the county, it had because the county is important to me. I want to know what county it's in, so I know this way if I'm going to be out and about trying to talk to people about it, and if I'm over in Calhoun County, or if I'm over in Sumter County, or if I'm up in or down in Okeechobee County, I want to be talking to all them people in the same day. So, it gave me phone numbers. It gave me contacts, people who to contact when it could find it. Otherwise, it gave me what I needed. And it gave me space for contact, yes or no. And it also gave me a little space for notes, which I wanted to be a little bit bigger. And it told me how to do it. And I said, I want to be able to use it on my Mac Mini, my MacBook, my iPad, and my iPhone. And it gave me instructions on how to do that. It was great. It did all that in about 3 or 4 minutes. First it came up and it showed me, and I said, well, I want to put it on here, and here, and it came back and it showed me. So with this new project, I'm going to people and I'm going to show them what I want to do via a slide deck, or a presentation with, 5 to 10 slides. And what Perplexity did for me was fantastic. I love the colors. I love the layout, but I've changed a bunch of things, made it more in my voice. But I asked Claude the same exact thing, because I went to the prompt I had in Perplexity, copied and pasted it into Claude, and added a couple of things. And he came back and said, "That's a fantastic idea." Well, of course, right off the bat, I get all puffed up. It's like, woo, far out. It likes it. And it came up with things in a couple minutes. It's a little longer. It took a little longer than Perplexity did, because I think it took more time to think about it. And there were no references where it got some of this information from, like you get in Perplexity, because Perplexity is AI, but it's more browser-based AI in my mind. It still gives you the answers you want. And then I was comparing some of the answers, and they're awfully close. But what it gave me was absolutely fantastic. It just was. I was very, very impressed. And the great thing about it is I can change it. So I'm going to take that one, put it side by side with the one from Perplexity, and then I'm going to pull up a blank pages form or Keynote form, put it on the other side, so I have three things going at once on one monitor. And hopefully you're not thinking, well, I hope you don't have a 24-inch monitor. No, I don't. I have a 34-inch monitor, and I can do that and still see everything just fine. So there's that. And then that'll help me, and I'm going to do that this weekend. Now, I'm going to change subjects again. Wait, let's stay on that subject a second. I was going to also take that same question that I put in Claude, and I'm going to go over to Gemini, and I'm going to put it in there to see what it does. Now, when I was doing all this asking of Claude, I want you to remember one thing. I wasn't on a high-powered Mac Mini. I'm not saying it's high-powered. It's a regular Mac Mini. It's got 16 gigs of RAM and 512 memory, but I was on my M4 MacBook Pro. My M4 iPad Pro, and when I was doing this, and it did it in that short a time. So I could have been on my phone, would have given me the same answer. So just know that. But I've also said, I'm going to try it on Gemini just to see what it does. Now, it may do something good for me. It may not. I've tried Gemini on a couple of things. And in case you're not sure, Gemini is a Google product. But I'm going to try that today, this weekend, and see what happens. Now, I'll get back to you on that. I also said that I was going to take this podcast, throw it into Whisper AI to see what the transcript came like. I was also going to throw it into the script as well as Gemini, just to see what it comes up with for transcripts. I use right now for transcripts Captivate.fm's AI feature, where it transcribes I download this recording, ask it to transcribe it, and it also gives me links to whatever websites I've talked about, everything else you guys see in the show notes. So I just wanted to let you know I'm doing that too. Okay, so we're going to change subjects one more time. The one thing I did talk about was, you got to remember, yesterday was the 14th of April, 2025, which is one day before tax day. Everybody in the United States over 16 who's working has to file taxes with the government, let them know what they made and all this and that. So the government knows whether they owe the person money back or the person owes the government money. Well, I did mine yesterday on the 14th, which I went through Intuit TurboTax, which I've been using for the past 3 or 4 years, and it went rather smoothly. I had this one issue where because I was on workers' compensation, I was working, but I was on workers' compensation for a while after surgery. I couldn't find the W-2 for it, the W-2 or 1099, which is a form that your employer sends you saying, hey, there's what did you made in this. And I'm tearing through my office and in my bedroom going, where the heck did I put this? Because I save all this stuff in one spot. I know I'm going to need it. It's important. So I do all this. And finally I go, this is crazy. I can't find it. So I send an email or two to the company, and then I call the company and talking to this nice lady at HR, and she goes, I don't think you need it, but let me check. And she comes back a second or two later and she goes, I checked. Dave, we wouldn't send you one because workers' compensation is not taxable anymore. So we are not going to send you a 1099 or a W-2 for that. Okay. Off I am to the races in getting it done. Now, mine's pretty simple. Folks, I don't have a lot of deductions. I didn't have a lot of medical costs because workers' compensation paid for all of my procedures and all of my physical therapy and all that other kind of stuff. I didn't cost me one dime. So I don't have anything to claim on there, so I went rather smoothly, and I'm getting a little refund. I'd get a bigger one, but I work part-time now, so, it doesn't really, if I'm not putting it in as much, I don't get as much back, which is fine. It's absolutely fine with me. I don't care. I don't need a big refund every year. Most people, not most, I shouldn't say that, I shouldn't say most. A lot of people plan on this. And all the commercials and all the emails are all about, well, here's what you could spend your tax money on, your tax refund on. I don't worry about that. I don't do that. So, yay, I got it all done before the 15th, because today, the 15th when I'm recording, and right now I'm telling you it's 6:53 a.m. because I was recording this before I go to work. It's done. It's sent off. And it has to be accepted in their website, and IRS accepted it. I got that email last night. So all is well and good, right? And we've re-recorded. So if you were one of the lucky ones, because I noticed before I pulled it down, because I always do this, I'll go back and I'll listen to it after I've published it to see how it sounds on a different device with headphones in. And you're going to get 2 number 193s. Okay. So just so you know. So if you know somebody, or even if you want to start a podcast, or know somebody who wants to start a podcast, I'm your guy. Go to Gray Hair Productions. Go to the contact me page. Leave me a note. Send me a note. Tell me, hey, Gray Hair Dave. Yeah, I'd like to start a podcast. Now, yesterday, and in fact, I think I mentioned it right at the beginning. When I was in my car recording, I was recording with a Samson Q2U. A Samson Q2U is a whole lot better than a Blue Yeti or any of those cheap ones you're going to find. If you're going to start a podcast, you got to spend a couple of bucks. I think it was $65 or $66. It has 3 options you can use on it. You can do XLR, which is a 3-pin cable you hook into an audio interface, which then hooks into your computer. Or you can do USB from the microphone right to your computer. Either way, it's great. Also has a jack for your headphones, so you can hear what's going on properly and you're not getting other distractions, or if you're interviewing or in a 2-person conversation, you don't get that feedback. Highly suggested. If you go to my website, there's a page in there that's all about geared to start your podcast. Also, folks, if you know somebody who doesn't know what a podcast is, doesn't know how to find one, where to find one, do me a favor, show them for me. Would you please? You'll make my day. You really will. Just show them what genres are available. Use 5 minutes with Gray Hair Dave as the example. Okay, let them find me. They'll like me. You do. Also, folks, if you're out and about today, you see somebody you don't know, or even somebody you do know, wave, smile, maybe even say hi. You're going to make their day, which will in turn around and make yours. So, on behalf of Gray Hair Dave and Gray Hair Productions, this is 193.2.0. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye. Hey, folks, it's Gray Hair Dave just popping in to say, hey, I have a new merchandise shop. That's right. If you go to my website, 5minuteswithgrayhairdave.com, and you click on the merchandise tab, it'll take you to a page that says, click here for merchandise. And then it's got a little photo of some of the items that I do have in the shop. I hope that you do go there. I hope you do look at it. And if you are so inclined, I hope you do buy something. If you do, I will make some money on this, because this is something that I am adding to all of my websites so that I can make a little extra money and help out with the costs of this program and all my programs that I do. But anyways, thanks for listening, and I will talk to you again soon. Don't forget, 5minutesofgrayhairdave.com. Go to the merchandise page. Thanks. Bye.